Hey, what's good? I have a pretty good one for you today. I'm going to be making Haitian legumes, so especially for my vegetarians and new vegetarians and new vegans. I know it's hard to find good protein sauce. This is a great option. So this dish is basically from Haiti. I grew up making it. It's typically made with beef or some sort of meat, but I've actually modified it to be vegetarian and vegan friendly. So I'm going to be using a bunch of different vegetables like cabbage, eggplant, and I've substituted the meat for some high plant-based protein. But I won't keep you too long. Just follow along. Let's get to cooking. So to get started, we're just going to chop up some onions. I'm using yellow onions, but you can use whatever onions you have. I find like yellow onions or sweet onions to be the best. So I had already heat up some olive oil. I'm just going to add the onions to that. I'm going to add some garlic and some ginger. And then we're just going to stir fry our onions. We're not going to cook it for too long, but just enough to get a bit golden. Next, our protein sauce. I went with 2.5 cups of lima beans. It's pre-cooked now. I cook it for 10 minutes. If you can't get lima beans, you can substitute with edamame. So I'm just going to add epis. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of all-purpose seasoning. I'm going to just mix that up. Make sure it's thoroughly coated. Next, I crush 1 vegetable bouillon cube. For the entire dish, I'm using 1 large can of crushed tomatoes, but here I just started off with 1/3 of a cup just to get the beans going. So you want to make sure it's thoroughly mixed. You want to be adding 2 cups of water. Now, if you want to take this to the next level, you can use some vegetable broth. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of dry thyme as well. While your beans are cooking on low medium for 10 minutes, just want to cut up a small cabbage. And if you have a large cabbage, you can just use half. But here I just had a small one. So I'm just going to dice up the whole thing to put it in. So you just want to dice it up in slices. I'm also adding an eggplant, no particular size. So this is the one I had. And you're going to just cut up your eggplant. Don't worry about the size because you're going to be mushing this. Also, you want to go ahead with 3 carrots. So just peel 3 carrots and dice it up. I'm using shallot. Now, I know this is something that a lot of people are not familiar with. If you can't find it, you can leave that out. But if you have it, add your shallot. So here we're going to steam our vegetables. And nothing fancy, you're just layering them in. So I add the eggplant first. I'm adding the cabbage, but the order doesn't matter. So because we're just going to be steaming these vegetables so it gets soft, and then we're going to be crushing them. So I'm adding my shallots there. I added the carrots. Now it's been steaming, it's pretty good. I'm going to take the carrots out. So you're not going to mush the carrots. I'm going to dice the carrots to add them after. So you want to put that separately, and then you go in, take out your shallot, take out your eggplant, take out the cabbage. Don't worry about getting all the cabbage out. Just get as much out as possible because you're going to crush that. Next, you want to add your frozen spinach. I went with 750 grams. I'm going to be adding a bit more to it. So just want to stir that in with the remainder of the beans, whatever cabbage and vegetables that's left, it doesn't matter. I like it a bit more green, so I'm just adding some loose leaf spinach to this. And this here, I'm just going to add some salt, adding some black pepper again. Like, you have to adjust it based on your taste. So you're going to be tasting it as you go. Just stir everything together. That way our season is thoroughly mixed. Now, while your food is cooking with the cover on, you just want to mush the remaining of the vegetable. And that's why I said don't worry about cutting them in any fancy shape. You just want to like make sure it's soft enough, and you want to like smush it down as much as you can before you add it back to the rest of the ingredients. So here I'm just thoroughly mixing it because, again, you want to make sure it's seasoned, and please, you want to be tasting it as you go. And then you add the remainder of our crushed tomatoes, and here the carrots that we set aside. I'm going to add that as well and mix that. And then lastly, you're just going to cover your pan, let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then here you have it. It's thoroughly cooked. I'm just mixing it for the extra, but like this dish cooked within 40 minutes and it's all ready to go. So we just serve up the plate and try it. All right, everyone, our food is done. As you can see, our legume is ready. Our rice is ready, so let's just try this now. Beautiful, guys. Give this a try. Hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. If you found any value from this, please like and subscribe. And if you're looking for any more high protein vegetarian meals, check out these other videos. Until next week.